tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a middle-aged Italian Gino, twice divorced, remarried, 2 kids, not allowed a sports car, going through midlife crisis, mortgage poor. Anyone else? Yeah. I'm on my 3rd marriage. You know what that means? I pay for 3 houses and live in fucking none of them. I'm getting older too. Look at this thing. Sometimes I brush my eyebrows just to keep up morale. I passed 50, and I'll tell you this, a lot of things change when you pass 50. Like suddenly you realize that sitting down to pee is actually not that bad. There's guys in here right now going, well, it's actually pretty good. There's women in here going, fuck, I wish you'd sit down to pee. Maybe that way you stop pissing all over the toilet. Getting older. I have kids. I have 2 kids. Having kids today is like trying to recycle a recycling bin. Eventually they get too old and you're not quite sure how to get rid of them. You put it out to the curb, hoping somebody's going to take it. Next morning, still there. My kids are older now. I have a son and a daughter. And if you have a teenage boy, I'll tell you, when teenage boys go through puberty, it's disgusting. The smell that comes out of their room is mind-boggling. It's raging hormones all the time. It's like a folk music festival, right? Tents pitching all over the place. I'm afraid to touch a pillow. I don't walk into any room in my house without making a shitload of noise before I get there. I'm coming down the hall. Whatever you're holding. And we're always out of the conditioner. What the hell is that about? Yeah, some moms they just wrecked it for them. Every time you go get the conditioner, it's empty. You're ew! He's a teenage boy. Ew is all over the fucking house. When they go through puberty, they turn into a raging Tasmanian hormonal devil just spinning around the house. Happy sad, 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 happy sad. The only thing that calms my daughter down is chocolate. I keep M&Ms hidden around the house. She starts spinning, happy sad, happy sad. Oh, fuck off! I don't care. Go talk to your mother. I'll tell you this story. Before COVID, I was doing some shows in Halifax. So I decided I was going to take my kids with me. And I decided, let's make it a trip. So I asked them. I said, do you want to fly or do you want to drive? They said, drive. 20 hours in the car with 2 teenagers. Nobody said a word. I had to text them to stop for lunch. We get to Halifax, and I wanted to do a little touristy thing, so we decided to go up the hill to the Citadel, fort right on top of the hill there. We're walking up, and my son looks over at the water, and he goes, Dad, what lake is that? I said, that's Lake Atlantic, son. Not to be confused with that half-an-hour conversation we had about Ocean, Ontario. I wanted to make it comfortable for them. I wanted to make the trip enjoyable, so I decided I was going to rent a big van. Right? Lots of seats, lots of space. The first thing my kids say to me is there going to be a Blu-ray player in the van? Are we going to have Wi-Fi in the van? I told them, I said, back when I was a kid, my dad took us on a 2-day trip to Florida in a 1969 Buick Skylark. We had nothing. No air conditioning, no power windows, no seat belts, no hope for survival, nothing. When cut dust quiet to the front seat that your dad could reach you. I had an older brother and sister too, so I always had that middle seat. You know, the one right over the hump in the back of the floor? You know that one? How enjoyable was that, eh? The whole trip you're like this. Oh, this is great. This is a lot of fun. All right. How many days we have? Right. It's like I'm in launch position. The only benefit, if there's an accident, I'm the first one to freedom, right through the windshield. You know what the funny thing about that joke is? My dad, when he bought that car in 1969, he bought it brand spanking new, right off the lot, powder blue Buick Skylark. It came with these state-of-the-art safety features called seat belts. He didn't like the way they looked, so he cut them out of the car. I find myself doing that a lot as I get older, saying back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? I'll give you another example of what I'm talking about, okay? My nephew called me on his cell phone during recess. Believe that shit? I said to him, I go, what are you doing on your cell phone? This is recess. You should be out there playing games or something. I go, what do you do during recess? He goes, I don't know. I watch YouTube on my iPad. I play games on my iPhone. I said, you know what? Back when I was a kid, recess for us was like going to Vietnam. You're always amazed you made it back into class with all your fingers. We used to play games like British Bulldog and Red Rover. Do you remember those games? Yeah! Those games gave you the legal right to clothesline a girl! That's awesome when you're 10. That's how you show girls you like them back then. You kick the shit out of them. You're cute. Billy really likes me. I don't know if I'm going to survive the invite to the dance. That's the way it was. I remember when I was a kid. Now my nephew called me because he wanted to tell me that he wants a graphite hockey stick for his birthday. I told him, I said, back when I was a kid, I never had a graphite hockey stick. I had to go to the garden and take the hockey shaft out of the garden because it was in there holding up the tomato plants. Yeah, that's for my Italians, right? And then you got on your 10-speed bike and you rode the Canadian Tire for $1.99. You picked up the plastic blade. You remember the plastic blade? Remember that? You heat it up on the stove and get that 90-degree curve. Remember that? You couldn't hit the net to save your life, but you're taking your buddy's head right off. That's what it was about when we were growing up. We were out there experiencing things, hurting each other. Your buddy's in net, you're out there playing hockey in the middle of winter. You got that orange hockey ball. And your buddy's in net, and the only equipment he has is the foam from the old sofa duct taped to his hands. 9 times out of 10, you miss. But that one shot. Oh, I'm reminiscing right now. That one shot nails him right in the back. That's an hour and a half worth of laughter when you're 10. 2 hours when you're 50. I remember when I was a kid, when I was growing up, I asked my dad, I wanted a hockey net. And he was always bugging my dad that I wanted a hockey net. That's all I wanted was a hockey net. God bless him. My dad made me a hockey net out of 2x4s and chain link fence. It took 30 of us to carry it to the schoolyard. He made it with the 2x4s he stole from the construction site. Because that's what Italians do. They steal anything that's not nailed down at a construction site. It's like Home Depot for Italians. My uncle stole a staircase once. I'll let you think about that, a staircase. He's so proud of it too. When you go to his house, he goes, hey, look at the nicest staircase, huh? How much you think I pay for this, huh? That's right, nothing! They had to save money any way they could. Like, I don't know if you know that my mom, we have some Italians here, my mom, she used to dust the furniture with my underwear. Did you have that? Yeah. I still had to wear them. Every time I farted, it smelled like lemon pledge. You do too? Yeah? Okay, this is a fun one. I like doing this one. Audience participation. How many people had knitted slippers growing up? Yeah. Okay? How many people still have knitted slippers? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Hold on. And how many people make knitted slippers? That was it. You draw the line there, right? Fuck it. That's it. Stop it there. Anyone make them? No, sell them online. If you make knitted slippers, put up a website. I do this show everywhere, and people always ask me, do you know where you can get knitted slippers? I know, right? It's weird. I fucking hated those things. Do you know how evil it is to give a 10-year-old boy knitted slippers in a house filled with ceramic tiles and hardwood floors? Yeah, every time my dad hit me, I'd slide into the kitchen. My mom would just push me back. Take another shot. That's the other thing we grew up. You got out of line, they gave you a smack. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. You can't do that anymore. Did you know that? Not allowed to hit your kids. Let's have a little fun here. It is government policy in Canada and in the United States that if a child goes to school and mentions that they were spanked, the school is required to call the authorities. They are required to call Children's Aid. Did you know that? Okay, think about this for a second. Think about the shit you got hit with when you were growing up. My dad hit me with a fireplace when I was growing up. If they would have had this school back then, my dad would have called CAS himself. Hello. Yeah, Freddy, yeah, he come to school with a black eye today. Ah, who give it to him? I give it to him. What do you mean who give it to him? Why? Because he don't listen, that's why. Ah, drink? No, I don't drink. Just a 1, a 2, maybe 3 bottles of wine, that's all. Hey, you want to come over here? Come over here, we have 3, come on.